Right, layout continued. So we have this. I've kind of shifted the logo into here, and I've done a little bit of tweaking in my style sheet just to somewhat accommodate it. So I just made sure that the first li, which has the logo, has a separate width, and that the logo is 100% of that list items width, which is still a little bit messy. But what we want to do now is I want to be able to take my navigation, I want to potentially change it so that this actually sits down this left hand side, that I can put my my header section up the top, maybe more as a hero section, and then put some other bits and pieces down here and just kind of see how that all lays out. Righto, so the way to do this is getting your order right first for how you're going to do your bits and pieces. So that I'll put my navigation down here, down the side. I'll put this hero section up the top of my header section, but will be used more like a header section up the top as kind of a pretty wow image. Then I'll start putting content down here. So this is not coming first effectively, it's coming after my navigation. Then I would have my section here. Which I can put some content in there. Actually, I don't even really do I need a section because let's just do it like this. Let's just do it like this because why not? Div class. Let's go main. And then div class, oops, sub, right, sub. Okay, so we've got those in there. They'll probably just lay out like however, not really doing anything remotely like what I want. And the last thing is I want to get a div class around everything. And these quite often you see them as like a div ID or a div class of wrapper. Not because they're gangster, but that's just how they are. Oh, and I could put a I'll put a footer in here. Why not? A footer. If I get there, right. Okay. That's all inside the div. So that all goes like that. Right, that's not going to really make any difference. But when I start doing this, nav header image doesn't exist anymore. Righto. Okay. So then dot wrapper display flex flex direction guessing column, then flex wrap right, and then I'm just going to take this stuff and I'm going to shove it under my nav because that's the order it's in on the page, and it's just kind of good to work with that. Okay, so nav, do I need to display flex? Sure, and then I'm going to have it flex. Let's not get too carried away. Right, okay, so let's say height 100 VH, and I'm going to give it a width of, I don't know, 25% of the whole thing. So it's there, and this other stuff's come afterwards. Right, wrapper height 100 VH. Right, that'll put other stuff there, so we've got that there, and interesting there's a gap there. Let's see what's done this. Wrapper. Oh, it's probably, is it built-in spacing? Or is it overflow stuff from here? I have a feeling it's overflow stuff. It's alright, when we start narrowing down we'll see if this still persists. Alright, so this, I want my logo here, I want my links down here, and then this header I want to fill up the whole section here, the header. So, right, let's go to our nav li. I can say width 100%. I can also go like this and go justify. Alright, so I want flex direction, column, because I want them going down, sweet. And I want not flex end but flex start, because I want them at the top. There we go. Align center, width. Let's just take this width out altogether, eh? Let's just see what this does. Yep, they're all set center within that thing there. So I can do, if we have a look at, there it is there. Let's see, spacing. Space around. Space, probably space between. Align content. Right. Align content space between. Let's see how that works. Even distributes the first line as a star container. Just curious to see what this actually does more than anything. That's fine. I would do this with margin anyway, to be perfectly honest. So let's get with this first child width. Let's make it 80%. That's a bit better. Nav, okay. Margin. I'm going to say top bottom maybe 20 pixels. And left right 0. Just say auto. Oh, that auto might be doing it. That might be the thing. Right. 20 pixels is probably a little bit generous. Right, there you go. So they're all doing its thing. Like that's a navigation down the left. We're all pretty used to this. We've got our content on the right, which is tricky. Generally speaking, header has got things with also display flex in it, so that's interesting. So let's just give this a width of 80. Oh, sorry, 80%. There you go. It's filled it up nicely. Okay, so then let's go down to our dot main and our dot header. Dot main. Background color, I don't know, orange. Height of 50 of the view height. There's your main. Actually, yeah. Width. Let's try, because I was aiming for like this effectively. No, that won't work because 80, so let's just say this is 50% as well. So I want that sub to sit there, which I don't think it will. So what you would do is you'd put it in a section, which is there, fills up the whole thing, then you get those two things to sit next to each other, and a footer, so we'll just do that quickly. Dot sub background color red, height 50 VH, width, this, I'll just adjust this now, preempting what I'm going to do. Okay, no. 20, 70, okay, so that should, in theory, so it's over there, it's kind of done, but you could see that it would want to fit there. It's well wide enough to fit there. But this has gone too long for the page, so we would need an overflow. Right, so we can see, yep, it's here, it's gone across the other side because it's not one sitting next to each other, so this would need to be grouped together. I'll just, what does it need to be? 80%. Pardon me. 80%. Background color green. Background color. Right, because it's a lovely rainbow, which I imagine is somewhere. Yep, it's out to the side. It's fine. So then, okay, this is where it's getting your structure and getting things sussed. So this here, then we're going to say section. It's in here, and then I'll cover another potential issue in a sec. So go to the style sheet now. Go section. Width 80%, that's right. That's really all I should need. Let's go see where our section's gone. Right, okay, so sub height, let's just remove the height for the meantime. Oops, we'll just do this, comment it out, comment the height out. Then the width effectively would be 70% and 30% of the section that's inside. Section display flex. Boop, there you go, so they're there. Right, let's reinstate this stuff now. Let's just do one, see if the other one follows suit. Actually, if anything, I should be doing that. Which is fine. I mean, I could say slightly too much. On the footer's just popped out. Okay, and then you know, if you wanted to then do this, so the header height 20 plus 70, 90, then footer perfect. I can get rid of this. You know, that's it. There. So get rid of that little, you know. And that's it. But if I wanted this page to have this here and with lots of scroll, I would need more changes. So I'm just going to extend these sections, for example, and then that was here. I could have another mid sections and stuff in here. So I could continue on. I would just have, so say if I was going to have another bit under here, under the section, so under this section I could effectively have, you know, another thing, obviously not with the same name, and it will just continue under. and do that. But if I'm wanting the ability to have this stay here and this have lots of scroll, what I need to be able to do is not include that in it. And then I need this to effectively, this whole chunk that's all lovely and organized, sit on the right hand side of it. So this is where you can say wrapper, where is you wrapper, float, right. Stuffed everything up with the floats, so I hate floats. Right, let's see what the issue is. Yeah, I could probably put another wrapper around both. Double wrapper. Right, okay, right. Or should I just use the body tag? Should we just try to use the body tag? That'd be crazy. Let's try using the body tag. Oops. Right, okay. This doesn't have a width, so that'll probably be your problem. Width. 80%. That's probably the issue with the float before. Okay, yes. Okay, let's try 100%. Because but then effectively, let's just test this. The main thing I was wanting to test before I get really carried away. Where are we gone? Section height. Let's just put 100 VH. I should be able to. What's going on here? Right, get the infinite scroll. Interesting. Okay. Right, I had a bit of a tinker in terms of what's happening. So we want effectively just to be able to scroll if we've got more content. So I've pushed some of the content in terms of here, the section, to have 100 view height, which is obviously 100% of the whole thing. So this bit here is effectively 100% before it goes on to the next one, as you can see. But I don't want this navigation section moving while I scroll, and to figure out what's going on with this here as well. Turns out the issue was being a bit daft about things. So the nav's 25%. That's then the wrapper is 75%. The wrapper being all this stuff here, including that footer. The problem was the content inside it has been told to be not 100% of that. So the header width 100%, section width 100%, and there's 70 and 30 of that 100%, and that there is 100% now. So there you can see that's all gone back to normal. The scroll, however, if we want that nav to stay still, we have to say position fixed, which then does this strange issue. So if I just get out of that, we won't see that line. Okay, so I want to push that right. So the easiest way to do it, whether it's a good idea or not, margin dash right, and we want 25% because that's exactly how much the sorry, not right, left, my bad, is how much that is there. So there you go. And then you've got your content that scrolls, it's there, that stays fixed. These all still, you know, do their thing, but you've got your content that moves and you can lay it out however you want. So yeah, that's kind of it, really playing with the layout and being able to do pretty much most anything. The thing you really got to consider when doing your layout with your website is when we're considering, where is it? This. Is the content going to be flowing down like this, or you know this, or is it going up and down? What's the best way to get what we want? And hence why we had this broken up into a separate bit, so we could do this way, but have this as separate content in terms of the height versus this one here, because if this was in one whole wrapper, then we're stuck with that one height when we've got this left nav. If we've got a nav at the top and we've got things wrapped in the content below, then we can just let the height be free flow if we want, and we can just kind of scroll and we're just setting widths and then height of the content inside here. So they're setting the height of like the nav and the sub, for example, or the footer, but the actual height of the whole wrapper that's around all of these coloured boxes we can just set as whatever. So yeah, that's it kind of come to an end. And yeah, you can kind of shift that however really you want. Yeah, sweet.